Hello, hello. Welcome everyone. I'm super excited to be here. Let me clean my camera because it looks a little bit dirty and I look a little bit cloudy. How are you guys doing? Thank you so much for your questions on Instagram about self-sabotage. We actually tried to put on a podcast, but if the podcast wasn't the podcast wasn't uploading. The audio is damaged. So I have a lot of questions on Instagram about self sabotage, where it's stored in the body, and how it works. And I am going to do just that. I just need to upload this to Instagram. If you give me a second, let me know if you are tuning in and where you're tuning in from. This is only on YouTube. I have only a few videos. So I'm excited to share this video here. I'm excited to share it with you guys in hopes that my intention is always that one person will listen to this and have a different change of mind. They will be like, yeah, I'm no longer the victim of my reality, or now I understand why these things were happening to me, or how I can overcome that and have different results in my life. So if you just give me 1 second, I'll be right with you. I just need to upload this and that's it. Um, Did you know that every time you sabotage yourself, you actually get closer to fear and move more and more away from that divine love or divine guidance or that internal intelligence that we have? So every time we self sabotage ourselves when we're like, oh, I'm not going to do that because no one is going to buy, or because it's too hard, or because I don't believe in myself, or because I've never been able to do it before, or because before I tried and I didn't work. Every time you do that, you are getting your energy more and more aligned, meaning you're making it stronger and stronger. That belief that you have that you actually cannot do something. So, what you're doing, even though you think you're not, is self sabotaging yourself even more. So, um, more into fear. I'm coming, I'm coming. I just need to. I just need to do something. Give me 1 second. Please don't go anywhere. I'm very sorry about this. This is taking longer than I expected. 1 second. Mm, 1 second. I'm coming. I promise. I'm coming. I'm coming. Um, and okay, I am done. Okay, I am back in business. We are back in business. So I wanted to make this video where you can gather information and then you can make a judgment on your life, or where you have been self sabotaging yourself. So for those of you that don't know me, hello, my name is Vanessa. I'm the CEO of Prosperamama, and I teach women how to unblock the chakras of entrepreneurship so they're more confident, they make more sales, and they become more visible. And I teach all these principles based on meditation and quantum physics. And basically, what that means is that every living person or organism has an electromagnetic field that is made up of their thoughts and their feelings. And when we are self sabotaging ourselves, the area in our body where that self sabotage is stuck is in our root chakra. Our root chakra is the first energy center that we find that is closest to the ground. The root chakra also is made up of, or compromises your lower back and your legs, so your ability to move forward. So when we are self sabotaging ourselves, really what we are doing is holding ourselves back, right? Because self sabotage starts with a thought. I can't do this. It's so hard. I've tried this before. Who am I to teach this? How can I even imagine that this can be my future? it's better that I just stay in my comfort zone. And comfort zone doesn't mean that it is healthy for you or necessarily the best. It just means that it's something that you have been accustomed to, so it feels comfortable. So your body is not, which not your body, but your mind, which is your brain in action, is not going crazy saying you are stepping out of your comfort zone, you're doing something uncomfortable. When we self sabotage ourselves, it just means that we get closer to fear. So we give into more of what? It doesn't work. I can't do this. It's so hard. Those thoughts, since each and every energy center that we have in our body corresponds to a hormonal gland, right? Your pineal gland, your pituitary gland, your adrenal glands. When we are activated, or when we have a congestion of energy in our root chakra, which is the energy center in the body that holds those thoughts and those emotions. Because listen to this, and I feel that in YouTube I can share so much more information. So your root chakra is the energy center that's closest to the ground, and the energy center that holds the thoughts that you are enough, that you are born into a community, that you have an emotional connection with your community, with your family, with your tribe, that it's the reason why you're born into a community, because humans need that, right? So when we are growing up from 0 to 7 years old, our brainwaves are in lower brainwaves. And that just basically means that we are more suggestible to different information. So when we at 0 to 7 years old, we learn usually based on what we see. That's why when you have children, they say they're going to do what they see you do, not necessarily what you tell them to do. Because when we're little, we learn to communicate, or we learn to read the expression of our parents or caretakers by facial expressions, because we're not verbal at that age. So however they acted or felt or did or made you feel, since your brainwaves are in a lower brainwave, that just basically means that you're not conscious of whether that's something good or bad. You just accept it, right? You're dumping in your beliefs into your children, into their mind, into their brain, because their brainwaves are still low, which means highly suggestible. That is why a child can play and use their imagination and get lost in time. They have no concept of what time is, right? It's just because of their brainwaves. The same thing, that's why they let things fall, or they're a little bit clumsy. It's usually because of that. They're just not, that's not a preoccupation. They're not yet in that survival of the fittest and we have to survive. It's more of, this is, my family, my community, these are the people that are supposed to keep me safe or help me feel safe. So when we self sabotage, it could very much be because when we were younger, we were accustomed to disappointment. So instead of, I want something, I want to achieve something different, but because I'm carrying that belief that I usually get disappointed, then me setting myself up for disappointment is me feeling comfortable because that's what I've been accustomed to. So if I self sabotage myself and I don't move or take action or do things that I'm supposed to do or incorporate the habits of the person that I want to become, then that disappointment that you see it didn't work, or you see it was so hard, or you see I could never change my relationship or my environment or whatever it is just reinforcing that belief that you have been carrying for a long time. And after I explain that, usually people ask me, okay, so what is it that we should be doing in order for you not to self sabotage yourself? So I want to explain to you how self sabotage in business is going to show up. When you are self sabotaging yourself, your money story or your money situation is going to go down and go up, and you're going to probably say, well, I made this much money or I brought this much money in, but I couldn't keep it. And there we're going to bring a little bit of energetics into it, and we're going to say, remember that a principle in energetics or in human behavior is that whatever you feel worthy of receiving is what you're going to receive. And when you are in a vibration, or when you are expressing self sabotage, which is starting and stopping, shiny object syndrome, being fearful to take an action, not taking a stand on anything, when those things are coming up, those things reflect that you are more on a balance of fear and less on a balance of trust and surrender and growth and expansion. That's really what it means energetically. So when we understand that we only receive what we are worthy of receiving, when we do tasks that we feel that are hard for us, by incorporating habits like an agenda, breaking it up so our mental space doesn't get cluttered, when we do those things, we are breaking bondages of the self sabotage, right? It doesn't matter. And I am someone that in my program, I run a program called the Line CEO, where it's a 6 month program, and I teach women how to grow successfully online. Humans are moved by emotions. If we don't address the energetics and the emotional part of the person, then there's not going to be any changes. Okay, that's just how it is. There's no level of awareness. There's no level of change. They don't even have an idea that they can actually change. They're oblivious to it. We are not here to judge anyone. This conversation that we're having is for you to see and take out what serves you and leave the rest. When I am self sabotaging myself, I really don't have a clear vision of what I want to achieve or where I want to go. My energy is stuck in, I can't do this. It's so hard. I have tried everything. What is the next step? When you are doing that, your self worth is dependent on what? Something external of you, right? You think it's something outside of you has to happen in order for you to feel better. And the reason that we do that is because we avoid sitting and becoming aware of our internal state. That is why a lot of people say, I can't meditate. It's super hard. No, it's normal that it is difficult at the beginning because your body is accustomed to different things: cortisol, adrenaline, fight, fly, freeze. And now you're telling it, no, I'm going to sit and I'm going to deal with the emotions, and I'm going to focus more on, I'm going to take my energy off of what is happening outside of me that is taking energy from me. And I'm going to focus my energy inside. Why? Because when we do that, we are able to become aware of how we're acting, of how unconscious we have been. And you have to bring awareness into your healing journey. And I am not a healer that is, what does a healer mean for me? Let's start there. A healer is not someone that is going to heal your life. A healer is someone that uses a technique and energy that helps speed up the process. This is science. Science has said that energy healing is speeds up your healing process up to 30%. We also know that these energy centers or chakras that are created in the body start at the time of conception, your root chakra. And we know that they influence and affect our mental, emotional, and spiritual life, mental, emotional, and physical life. So when we are again self sabotaging ourselves, we are really really concerned with what other people think. And the more that I can find reasons to reinforce that I can't do something, or that I'm allowing fear to take over, it's kind of like a self-sabotage. I know it hurts me, I know it's bad for me, but I can't stop doing it. And humans have 80 to 90,000 thoughts in one day, and usually 80% of them are the same as the day before. So when you are on a journey to stop the self-sabotage, what you need to do, the first step that you need to do, is become aware of what your thoughts are. And you can't tell me that if you haven't done this exercise where you write down your thoughts for 24 hours, you know what they are. You don't, because the majority of the thoughts are stored in your subconscious mind, and you as a human, even becoming aware, only has access to 5% of your conscious mind. So those are thoughts that you have been telling yourself for such a long time that you no longer are aware when they pass through your conscious awareness, right? Until you become aware. And how do you do that? You get a piece of paper, and for the next 24 hours you write the I am going to become conscious of the thoughts that I'm saying to myself. And when a thought comes up, that you become conscious of it, like when you are about to do a task that you feel uncomfortable or fearful, but you need to do it, and you start saying things like, I'll do it later, or it's not working, or I'm wasting my time doing this, or this is too hard, or I don't understand it. When you start becoming aware of those thoughts, your responsibility is to find a better, more loving thought. And that could be as simple as, this is easy. I have enough time to focus on doing it. I'm going to sit down, I'm going to dedicate an hour, and then I'm going to stand up and do something else. And things as small as that, what it does is it sends the signal to your brain, because your mind is subjective. So it sends the signal to your brain and it says, this is easy. So you are taking away energy from the thought that it's hard, that you can't do it, that nobody's going to listen, whatever it is that you're saying to yourself. And you start a thought that says, you start like cleaning literally your space. You start with sitting down thinking that it's easy. You have a time allocated to do the task that you don't want to do, and once you finish doing that, what you did was remove or take a little bit of the bond away from the belief that says that you can't do this because you failed in the past, or that you're not good enough, or that no one is going to pay you your value, or that your product or service isn't as good as you think it is, right? Self sabotage is what stops us from living in alignment. And alignment means nothing more than what your words have to match your actions. If you are a woman entrepreneur and you're like, I want to grow online my business, and you know that video is one of the best ways to do it because it shortens the gap between someone liking, knowing, and trusting you, and you're still not getting on video, you're not in alignment. You are self-sabotaging yourself. So the heart always knows. Always. Our heart is connected to a universal consciousness. And if you are new to my information, I always say this on TikTok and on Instagram. We do a live meditation on TikTok, 10 a.m., Monday through Thursday. I always say this, and it is that your heart has all the answers. Your heart literally knows what feels uncomfortable when you tune in is most likely what you have to do, because that means that there is a change in your thoughts and in your actions. And at the beginning, it's going to feel uncomfortable, not because it's not better for you. It's going to feel uncomfortable because you're not accustomed to it. And at age 35, our body has become our subconscious mind. So it directs it's the director of the orchestra. When you want to work out and you're like, oh, later, because I'm tired or I'm busy or this and that, it's the signals that your body is sending. And you are more than your body. And the moment that you become aware of that is when your life is going to start changing, literally, because the excuses are going to become smaller and smaller and smaller. I always say this, and I'm going to repeat it again. The what's standing between you and achieving the goals that you want is the story that you continue to tell yourself, and those stories become as strong as an addiction, an addiction to a substance. So self-sabotage is us being closer to fear than us being closer to love. And this, as cliche as it sounds, it's part of my mission. I have to share this because love is one of the highest vibrations, and more than it being a high vibration, it is when everything is in unity and everything is going good and everything is in a perfect state. So the more we can bring that into our life, the more we are bringing energetics into our life, the more possibilities exist, the more expansion that we have. The only person that is responsible for moving forward, even if you have fear or doubt, which is also disguised as self-sabotage, the only person is yourself. If your thoughts, like Dr. Joe Dispenza says, can make you well, then your can make you sick, right? Then your thoughts can make you well as well. And we override this. We want a quick fix. We want someone to remove the self sabotage for ourselves. And to be honest with you, the person that has to do that, because the person that is rewiring her energy, new networks of information in her brain, her results, is only you. And I want to tell you something. Just like you can tell your brain, oh, it's so hard. I am so fearful. I'm not going to do this because of this and that. You know, you have the power to do the complete opposite. You could literally tell your brain, it is so easy. Everything is working out in my favor. I actually can do this. Um, I'm in a surrendered state, because that would be being equal to your divine right, right? It is said that we come here with a mission and a vision. And usually, when we are on that track, a lot of the beliefs that we have been carrying for many years show up. And sometimes I want you to know that they just show up to see if you overcame it, to be honest with you. That's what I think. I think many times, just today in the morning with my TikTok at 10 a.m., I was like, oh no, but I can do something else and I really don't have to do the TikTok. And then I said, no, I don't think so. You said you were going to do that meditation in the morning. A lot of people wait for it, go get on it. And I did, and it was amazing and incredible. If I would have been like, yeah, it doesn't matter, even though I knew inside that that was my commitment, right? That my word was that, I could have easily said, no, it doesn't matter. And then the rest of the day, I would have been in that same self sabotage cycle. No, I don't really have to do this. No, this doesn't really matter. No, this, and that. So when you give yourself the opportunity to get out of that cycle, know that if you feel uncomfortable or if you feel that, again, you're in the same place, I want you to know that part of evolution is overcoming yourself. And this is as hard as you want to make it or as easy as you want to make it. How do I know? Because I have 9 years of experience as a coach for women, and I have seen women that are complete manifestors. Like, you just tell them and they literally manifest. And I have seen others that take a little bit longer. Interesting fact, usually my most expert manifestors are people that had no idea about energetics and spirituality. One of my biggest manifestors, one of my women that have had has had one of the most incredible success, Brooke, and she I don't know, tripled her income or six times her income. It's like a crazy thing. She used to call me the crazy old crystal lady, the crazy crystal lady. That was her name. She was like, I have no idea what you're doing. And then she started learning more, the whole nine yards. She had no resistance because she was really like, oh, who cares if this is true or not? I'm just gonna give it a try. So play with that concept like that. Yesterday inside of my group, I told the girls, play with the concept that it's easy because it really is. It's you thinking that it's not easy that makes it show up in your reality like that. So play with the fact it's easy. I can do this. It's not hard. One step at a time. Break it down. Anything that is going to prevent you from making the same actions and the same thoughts that you had that led to self sabotage. Self sabotage in the body is also a lot of fear. And you want to be honest with yourself. What am I fearful of? The judgment of others? Am I fearful of more money, more responsibilities? Am I fearful of not being enough to see this through? What is it that you're fearful of? And once you become aware of that, empowerment, self-empowerment, alignment is that your actions match your words. Your actions match your words. If you want to grow, I don't know, a seven-figure business and you don't want to take any action, what are you doing? Is that how you're going to grow a business? No. Again, I always say this in my TikToks. You know that what connects us to this 3D reality is our senses, right? So if you are feeling disempowered and you're not feeling motivated and you don't have a clear vision and all you do is scroll through Instagram or shop or do anything but take accountability, hear me out. All those things are because it is fearful for you. It brings up fear to sit, meditate, and take action. And that will repeat itself until you are fed up with your results and you're like, that is it. That is literally it. Humans, science has been able to bridge the gap between spirituality and science, right? So what I'm sharing with you is information that I invite you to amplify or create an even bigger understanding. And you can Google it, you can read books about it, you can investigate. If you do that, you allow yourself to become an expert in whatever field that you want. And when a woman is sabotaging herself, she's also lacking clarity. And let's not even talk about confidence because confidence is directly related to how much money you're going to make. But if you are not clear, if you are self sabotaging yourself, another little tip, your boundaries are going to be completely off. There's going to be no boundaries. And what you're doing is, again, perpetuating the cycle, perpetuating the cycle. So when you are ready to remove the self sabotage, the first thing that you want to know is, what is this costing me? The fear and the self-sabotage of starting, what is it costing me? Is it costing me years of me seeing my dreams come true? Is it costing me hardships of not having the resources? Is it costing me my self-confidence because the less that I do or the less movement or action that I take is the more I criticize myself and the harder I am on myself? So you want to be, clear on what self-sabotage is. Another quick tip is that if you are self sabotaging yourself, start meditating. Meditation is going to lower your brain waves and it's going to make you more aware of what you're saying and how you're treating yourself. And that's going to ring a bell. It's going to be like, oh my God, yes, I am saying I can't do this. It's so hard. No one's going to buy it. It won't work. I'm not enough. All of those things. And you can change those commands. You command up to the cells in your body. And if you don't believe that, there's a book called Epigenetics or The Biology of Belief by Dr. Greg Braden, and you can read more on that. So I hope that with this video, you learned a little bit more about self-sabotage. And I also hope that with the information in this video, you realize that you have the power to change your thoughts, to change your energy, and to change your mind. Now more than ever, with the internet and with all the opportunities that we have, there shouldn't be people that are struggling to grow a business, because I actually believe that if you use the time that you're using to connect to things that are not so empowering, to educate yourself, to move forward, to create new habits, as simple as an agenda. That changed my life. Literally, I promote that all the time. I think it's one of the habits of CEOs, and it's time management. It made my head from going crazy all the time to being able to sit and be like, no, this is what I'm doing now, this is what I'm doing now, this is what I'm doing now. And it gave me mental clarity, to be honest with you, instead of me freaking out all the time that I was late or something was missing. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this little segment. If you did, let me know below. My intention, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. My intention is that you will be able to see longer videos, longer content here on YouTube. You know, I love educating. I think I'm a teacher. I don't think I'm a coach or a healer, just a teacher. And I will be sending out, no, I will be sending out, no, every Wednesday, we're going to have a new YouTube channel, a new YouTube video. What is going on? But with that, I hope that this helped. Let me know if you're a friend from Instagram or from TikTok, and if you ever want to learn how to meditate and do heart brain coherence, then come meditate with us on TikTok, 10 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Thursday. And I will see you guys next week.